Good morning. Welcome to the Mahwah Public Library. My name is Joan. I am your instructor, and today we're going to start in a reclining position. I need to sit up, but you can choose your position that's comfortable for you. You can bring your knees up and your palms out. Palms up, letter A. If you're comfortable, you can bring your legs and extend them long. If this is not comfortable for your lower back, you can always feel free to rest on your side body or to sit up. And as you rest right here, we're going to start with a little focus intention. So there's a life coach, his name is Ken Williams. And I've been following him, and one of the 4 things he said that can change your life on a daily basis is to do the 4 things that we're going to start our class with today. So before we do anything, we're just going to touch our thumbs to our ring finger, and we're going to take 3 breaths. So this is your lung point, and you're going to breathe. And you want to assess, how do I feel today? What do I need to shift? How am I overall? Where am I in my thoughts, in my body, in my breath, in my intentions? And do I give myself permission to create a change? And take 3 breaths. And now you're just going to hold this point and breathe. And you breathe in whatever's a natural, comfortable rhythm for you. And you just notice when the breath lengthens. Don't work so hard. So the very first question is to set your goal, he says, Ken Williams says. And the goal is, how do I wish, or how do I want to approach my day today? So sometimes we get up in the morning and we're already cranky. So before we go down that road, ask yourself, how do I want to approach my day? And embrace it in a way that's going to set you on a positive path. Approach it with courage, peace, patience, understanding, awareness, enthusiasm, joy, happiness, contentment. And even if you don't necessarily feel that at the moment, you're setting yourself up, you're setting that vibration up to create a change. So take 3 breaths at your own rate right here and set your intention. How will you approach the rest of this day? And it could be anything else that I have not shared. And breathe. And holding your thumb to the tip of the ring finger releases and relaxes through the lungs. So you want to feel and become aware of the movement of the lungs. Now you're going to move your thumb to your pinky finger. This is going to tap into your emotional and spiritual body. And sometimes our emotional and spiritual body can get stuck. So you want to feed your body something positive. So you want to fill yourself up with an action, a behavior that's going to create a shift. You chose to come to yoga. There already is feeding your mind, body, heart, and spirit in a positive way. You want to feed yourself with something that's going to enhance how you're approaching your day. So 3 breaths here. And now bring your awareness to how the breath moves in the lower belly. Sinking the shoulders, relaxing through the neck, softening the eyes, the jaw, the ears, the throat, the center of the forehead, the crown of the head. So today we're feeding ourselves as a community today with our yoga practice and then a meditation at the end. Now you're going to move your thumb to your middle finger, and this is the space around your heart. And so oftentimes we're so embroiled in our own little insulated world that we forget that maybe there's something else that we can shift ourselves out of. So the third point, or the third stage, is to help others. Now it doesn't have to be big. It could be smiling at somebody. It could be saying hello, sending a text thinking of you. It could be taking a walk, or walking somebody's dog, or anything else that you can think of. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be an action that's going to take you out of yourself. So you're going to take 3 breaths in, and when you help others, it's a ricochet effect. So you help somebody, you say hello to somebody, you're friendly, you're kind, you're nice, you extend compassion, love, peace. It comes back to you. So 3 breaths right here. And you breathe. And as you breathe here, you just notice what's shifting as you just slowly take the time to notice. And then touch your thumb to your index finger. And every day, regardless of what it is that you have within your day, you want to step into it with confidence. So you're going to hold this space. This is going to fill the whole torso. You're breathing in and you're breathing out confidence. I am breathing in confidence. I'm exhaling confidence. So it takes courage to come to confidence as much as it takes to come to stillness. So you're bringing yourself to stillness to allow yourself to gather all the parts that make you confident. Now remember, a practice isn't just one and done. This is something you do daily. And 3 breaths at your own rate, and you want to feel and become aware of the shift maybe in the breath. Maybe something softens, maybe the breath gets longer, maybe the inhale is long and the exhale is longer, maybe the shoulders soften. And you want to become aware of all sensations, because now you're slowing down your internal self. Then you're going to take your thumb and you're going to bring it into the palm, thumb over to the pinky finger, and curl your fingers around it gently. And this is going to land right at the center base of the sternum. And you're going to now, with confidence, say, I am calm in the center of my being. I'm breathing in, so take a breath, and I'm breathing out. I am calm in the center of my being. I am confident that I am calm in the center of my being, and relax something that's tight, your jaw, your thoughts, your heart rate, something that feels that needs to be softened, your neck, your shoulder. Take a breath. I am calm in the center of my being. And make 3 long breaths, as big as you can. So inhale as much air as you can, and then push all the air out with confidence. So you're filling yourself up with oxygen, just like you would pour seltzer in a glass and you see those little bubbles start to form. You're bubbling up with air now. And as you breathe in and you breathe out right here, release your fingers, wiggle them out. Bring your knees into your chest, and now just rock out that back body a little bit. And as you rock out that back body, let go of something that you may be holding between your shoulder blades, down the length of your spine, the lower back, relaxing the feet, just slowly rocking, noticing if something releases. feeling gravity pressing down on you. So it'll soften something that's tight. And then just bring your feet up and come right into a happy baby. So we want to get the benefit of this as an inversion. And release anything else that you may need to address. Good. And then just come to stillness for a minute and point and flex your feet. 4, 5, 6.1, flex the other, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roll the feet around at the ankles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, reverse your circle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wiggle your toes, curl your toes. Stretch your toes as wide as you can. Curl and stretch and curl the toes in and stretch them out and curl and stretch. And then just pedal your feet around, move them around, and now rock here. Just a gentle releasing through the legs. Good. Bring that right leg in and you're going to give it a nice hug here. Bring that thigh in as close as you can. Soften the shoulders. Now I'm going to flex my feet. Lift and tuck my head so my chin is in line with the sternum. And now I'm slowly going to float that left leg, but I'm only going to bring it down maybe a third. And then I want to inhale with intention and bring that foot back up to center. And then I'm going to release a little lower, about 2/3. And then I inhale and I bring it up. And then I'm going to release that leg all the way down to the floor. Stretch it all out. Take a big stretch here. And then imagining that there's a string on the toe, I'm going to lift it slowly and gently back up. And then switch legs. And feel that leg in comparison to the one we haven't done yet. Stretch that right leg up, hug that left leg in, and float about 1/3 of the way. And then inhale slowly and gently. Imagine there's a string and you're controlling the movement with the engagement of your belly and your back. And now about 2/3 of the way down, stretching through the hip, stretching that leg. Inhale, bringing it back up. And then exhaling it, bringing all the way down to the floor. Stretching that leg as much as you can. You can point and flex the foot if you need to, roll it around. I'm going to point my toe and with intention lift that leg right back up slowly. And release it. And bring the knees into the chest and rock it out. Good. Cross the right foot over the ankle, widen the legs, cap the knees with your palms and roll around. Get a little pelvic tilt here going. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your legs up, come into a happy baby, just gently rock. And then pause, cross the left foot over the ankle of the right, and again we roll 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. When you come to the back, lift your legs, happy baby, rock it out. Good. Bring your feet to the floor. Heels are on the mat, toes are off. Arms come out to the letter T, and now we're just gently rocking. So keep the shoulders down and away from the ears and rock the legs from side to side, little windshield wipers. See if you can tuck that lumbar spine into the mat a little bit closer. And keep the breath moving. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together and rock here just like you're in a boat, but keep the arms extended out to the side. And just see how that feels. And then come to center and stretch your arms and stretch your legs and go into a full body stretch. And take a big yawn, a big sigh. Feel like you're a rubber band and you're stretching it all out. Good. Now, I'm going to roll onto my right side. You can pick whatever side you want. I'm going to bring my arm underneath my head. I'm going to roll onto my side body like I'm sitting in a chair. My knees are in line with the hips, and the knees are in line with the ankles, and I'm mindful that my shoulders are stacked, and my fingers can be teepeed if I need to keep myself upright, and I release right here into that side body. Take a few breaths right here. Good. Now you're going to take that, leave that right leg, or whatever leg is on the floor. If you're not on the right side, it doesn't matter. You're going to take that top leg and you're going to stretch it straight out from the hip. And then bring the arm straight up and over the ear. And you're going to stretch it so the leg is down, parallel to the floor. So it's as wide as your hip. And you're going to stretch it out, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. And then bring it in and pause. Good. Bring that top arm up, little circle here, just opening up. Now you're not moving the wrist, you're moving the whole arm in the arm socket. And then you pause and you reverse your circle. And then just let your arm rest right on the side of your body. Take a breath. Now, I'm going to extend my two legs. I'm going to make my body as straight as I can into the capital letter I. My feet are stacked, so my feet are flexed like I'm standing on the floor. My arm is in front teepeed, and now I'm going to rock from side to side gently. This is going to open up a lot of acupressure points on the side of the body. You have a lot of acupressure points, especially coming up the side of the hip. The IT bands can be tight. The hip can be tight, so just gently rocking. Now, if you have knee or hip replacements, as always, you only do what's comfortable for you. And now you just want to massage this out. And you want to feel how that feels. And pay attention to how it feels on this side, because the other side may not feel the same. Good. Now pause when you come to balance. I'm going to lift the top leg and stand it on the floor, and take my top arm and rest it on the inside of the thigh, and now just rock in and out, hinge, small little hinge here. Now, I'm going to hold this here for just a breath, and what I'm going to do is eventually I'm going to take myself, so I'm just going to roll onto my back body. So I'm going to take my arm and I'm going to roll. When I roll onto my back, I'm going to release the arm, and my leg will come out like the number 4. And I'm just going to rest here. I'm going to lift the leg and bring it down to the side. If I need to, I can put a block underneath my leg. And I'm just going to pretend as I lift my arms gently into a V and flex my standing foot that I'm in tree pose. So I'm just breathing here. And soften. Slide that bent knee down to match the other leg. It should be maybe a little longer. Go into a full body stretch. Now you may have rolled yourself off the mat, so just be mindful. I have to get up and transfer myself to the other side. You just have to roll onto your opposite side. So you're gonna just roll into that chair pose on the opposite side. And as you rest right here, again, supporting your head and neck with your arm, knees are in line with the hips, the knees in line with the ankles, shoulders stacked. Try not to lean forward or back. TP your fingers, take a breath, and notice how it feels on this side. And try to relax your jaw. Notice what's going on in your jaw, through your ears, back of the neck. I'm going to take my top leg, stretch it straight out. I'm leaving my bottom leg bent, so I want it straight out from the hip, and the arm comes up and over the ear, and I want a nice long line here. Stretch it out. Feel like I'm a Gumby. Somebody's holding my arm by the wrist and my ankle, and I'm stretching it straight out, straight, straight, straight. And then I bring it in and I rest. And take my top arm up, and again, rotating through the shoulder. I roll it around and I see if I have any glitches, how does it feel, is it smooth? I can always go the other direction if I need to. You can test both ways. And then I release my arm and just let it rest down the length of my torso toward my hip. And take a breath. And soften. So see if you're holding something somewhere. And then when you're ready, you TP the top arm and you come right into your capital letter I. And you stack your feet and you flex your feet and you rock it out right here. And you just rock gently side to side. And you notice how it feels here. Bring your arm to the floor. There you go. Nice. And just rock it out. So you're just using that arm to rock in and out of that side body. Any tenderness there, you just notice. You have a lot of digestion points on the side of the thigh. And then you pause at neutral and you bring that standing foot up. Notice how it feels here. Top arm right in the center of the thigh, and I just hinge gently. Just a little small hinging. Excuse me, opening up the hip flexors. Now, remember, you may roll off your mat, it's okay. I'm going to just get myself ready, so I keep my foot on the floor. Now remember, no pressure on the knee or ankle joint. I'm going to take my top arm, I'm going to use that so I can roll over. I roll onto my back body into the number 4. I lift my arms gently into a V, and here I release the leg down, and I come right into a reclining tree pose. And I breathe. And you notice how it feels here. Does one side feel higher than the other? Is the hip off center? There's no judgment, there's just awareness. And then slide the foot down the length of the leg. Hopefully everything is level and you go into your full body stretch. Take a big breath. Good, wiggle it out, stretch it out, yawn it out. Now before we come back to an upright position, I'm going to bring my feet to the mat. I'm going to adjust myself if I've rolled off. I'm going to take a block and I'm going to come right back up into a bridge pose. So the block comes to the base of the spine, nothing in the curve of the spine. My feet are parallel. If I can feel the heels with my fingertips, that's great. I breathe, my arms are parallel. I press my hands down, I lift and tuck the shoulders under. My chin's in line with the sternum. So bridge pose is all about releasing straight through the center of the body and how I make connections within myself. My internal, my external self, my emotional self, my spiritual self, my subtle body. And I soften it. And as I breathe here, I can stay right here. If I have really tight shoulders and it doesn't work for me to lift my arms above my head, then I don't do it. But if I'm comfortable, I can lift my arms with the breath and extend my bridge so my arms are behind me and I soften the shoulders and I breathe. Keep the elbows soft if you need to. Soften. Now, if it's uncomfortable to keep your arms extended, you can bend them at the elbow, come into cactus arms. Looks like a goal post on a football field, and you just rest here. And you breathe. And relax something. Something that maybe you don't pay attention to, that is a subtle hold. Good. Then I'm going to bring my hands to my ribs, and I'm going to cross the right leg over the left. The ankle is off. I'm going to take my right hand, and now I'm going to hinge here. So just a gentle hinging, opening up through the hip flexors. So if I want to move forward in life, I want to keep my knees, my hips, my ankles, my feet, my spine happy. I just gently rock it out. Good, release that. And then I switch, so the right hand comes to the right side of the ribs, left hand comes to the inside of that left thigh, and I just rock it out here. And I take my time. And I notice, how does it feel? Good. Now I'm going to bring that foot to the block. Now I'm going to hold the block, and if you don't have a block, you can just keep your back on the floor. You're going to bring your knees into your chest and bring your feet all the way up, and we're going to go into a supported shoulder stand here. And we just softly flex the feet, and we get the benefit of all this oxygenated blood coming right back down to the torso, helping with digestion, slowing heart rate, feeding the heart, relaxing the shoulders. Point and flex your feet now and see how that feels. Point one foot, flex the other. Roll the feet at the ankle, roll around. And reverse. Flex your feet, open up into a big V. You're going to feel a big stretch on the inside of your legs. And now you're going to bring the heels down to the buttocks and like lowercase v, push up with intention like you're going to take this, press up into the ceiling sensation. So the heels are down and I press up and I create a little resistance with intention. I stretch it up and bring it down and stretch it up. One more, in and out with the breath. Bring the legs together, gentle shake of the legs. Good. Bring the knees into the chest and you slowly release the feet back to the block, to the floor while you're on the block, and you breathe. I'm going to take my left leg and extend it straight out, hovering it straight out, just like we did before, but this time with a block. And my opposite arm, so my left leg's extended, my right arm comes behind and it hovers. And I soften the joints, and I take a breath, and I feel this diagonal stretch. And then I bring it in, and now I'm going to switch. My hand can rest right on the hip if I need it, or I can stay right on the block. And I release the right leg and the left arm, and I stretch it out. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes if you need to. Take a breath. Bring it in. Now, I'm going to inhale, plant my feet so I'm nice and strong. Inhale, lift up, slide the block out from underneath the back body. Hands rest right on the ribs and stay here without the block now. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Feet are firm. Take a breath. And whatever you're holding on your back body, whatever weight, worry, tension, fear, stress, anxiety, imagine that there's water underneath you
And whatever you're doing, you're saying to yourself, I am releasing. If you can name it, you name it. And you visually watch it fall like a stone into the water, and then it either drops to the bottom, or if it's light, it floats away. So breathe. Inhale, maybe lift a little higher. Exhale, rolling one vertebra at a time until the whole spine comes back to meet the mat. Once you've landed, you don't move. You just stay there, let the spine catch up. Take a nice big cleansing breath. Let it go. Now slide your hands underneath your head. So the thumbs come to the base of the skull and my fingers support the back of my head. I'm not pulling on my neck. If I choose, I can lift myself up and just rock that space in the thoracic spine, the middle of the back, and I rock it out. My gaze is soft. My lumbar is tucked. My feet and legs are firmly planted. And then I pause and I bring it down. And now I just gently rock my legs. My feet stay on the mat. I'm not rolling them at this point. I'm just grounding down through my feet. And I breathe. Good. Now, when you come back to center, you're going to bring your hands up to the sky, clasp your hands, sink the shoulder heads down, and rock here. Just a gentle rocking side to side, opening that space between the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, you don't have to do anything else. You can stay right here. You can invert your hands so that the palms are to the sky, and you rock it here. You can stay right here. You can make it deeper. So I'm going to keep my gaze to the ceiling and let my left arm and then my right arm, it bends at the elbow, and I get a little deeper stretch here. And I breathe. Good. I'm going to bring my knees into my chest and rock it out. A little gentle rocking. Good job. Go into a full body stretch, and we're going to transition again. So take a big stretch here. See how you feel. Now I'm going to bring my knees back in, and I'm going to roll to whatever side calls to me. And I'm just going to keep rolling until I can come up onto my hands and knees into a table pose. So it doesn't have to look pretty. Your knees are in line with your hips, your toes are tucked, your hands are in line with your shoulders, your belly's tucked up, your head's an extension of the spine. Your toes are tucked into the mat, and now we're just going to rock it here. Now, if you have knee issues and this doesn't work for you, then don't do it. You can always put a prop, a blanket, something underneath your knees if you need it, and you breathe. See if you can ease out anything that's tight in the back and in the feet. And then release your feet so your feet come flat against the mat, and now you rock right here, back and forth. And take your time. And breathe. Good, and then when you come back this time, I'm going to widen the knees. I'm going to grab one of my blocks and put it so that I can rest my forehead on the block into a lifted, supported child's pose. Now, if I don't have a block, I can do one potato, two potato with my elbows out to the side. You just want to give yourself some space between your head, your heart, your belly. You want to stretch as close to the heels as you can. Take a breath. Slow down the rhythm of the nervous system. Make that head, heart, belly connection, and just breathe. Relax through the jaw. Now, if you want more, you can roll your head. This is going to help with moving this cervical spine, but if this doesn't work for you, then don't do it. It can release congestion, inflammation, busyness of the mind. It can relax into the center of the forehead. Relaxing the jaw, the space around the eyes, the 11 lines where you frown.
Now, when you come back to center, slide your arms and teepee your fingers. Stretch here. Take a big breath. Release your arms and rest for a breath here. And then, if you want to keep your block there, you can. If you want to move your block and go into an extended child with your head to the floor, feel free. So this helps to reset the body. It's a big bang for your buck. If you really feel like you're spiraling out of control and you're home and you have your mat, you can go right into a child's pose. If you don't have access to a mat and you can't just stop and tell the world I have to go on the floor, you sit in a chair with your legs wide and you just sit forward. Just let yourself go. That's a variation. Slide your hands back to frame the face, so you're coming right into a Sphinx pose. Your shoulders are back. Inhale, lift up. Now, when you lift up, we're just going to rock gently side to side, a little diagonal stretch. Now, I can keep it small, so my nose would be pointing toward the right hand and then the left, and a little diagonal stretch. I can keep it just like this. I can widen my hands. I can bring my ear to the mat and push up gently with intention. If I need a bigger push-up sensation, I can keep it high. I can make it what I need it to be. Inhale on the lift, exhale on the release. And then when you're ready, you come back into any variation of a child's pose that you want. Slide your hands back to frame the face. Now we're going to go right into a wave. So I tuck my chin into my chest and I ripple up through the spine. When my arms are straight, that's when I lift my head gently and slowly bring it down. So I'm gathering momentum and I'm lifting myself up, and then I'm cresting that wave, taking a breath, and then letting it all out. And I'm dumping out stuff that I don't want to hold anymore. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift up. When I lift up, I'm going to pause. I'm going to bring myself up like I'm a frog. Shoulders come back and down. Now take a breath. Now, if you need a block, you can grab your block. I'm going to start with my right arm, and we're just going to open the shoulders. So I slide my right arm forward, and I can prop my left arm, forearm here, and I can stretch. This could be enough. And if I want more, I can thread the needle and come all the way through. You can bring up a blanket, a prop, a block underneath your neck, soften the shoulder, and breathe. Couple breaths, and then slide that arm back. I'm just going to transfer myself in the other direction, but you stay right where you are. You're going to let your left arm come forward, pick the variation that you need. Sometimes the same pose doesn't work on the opposite side, so you pick and you rest, and you kind of wring out that whole space underneath the shoulders, underneath the arm, through the neck, and you breathe down the spine. And slide that left arm back and inhale, lift up. And rock again. And see if you can just feel like you have a little more space. Maybe you can make it a little bigger. You make it the expression you need for yourself. Now come back to center. I'm going to come off my legs because we've been here for a while. I'm going to bring my heels to the edges of the mat. My hands can come behind. I want to be mindful of slumping So I inhale and I lift. My head's an extension of the spine. Little windshield wipers here. Nice tall posture, relax your jaw. Soften through the face. Now, if I'm comfortable, I stay right here. If I want more, I roll to the right and I look chin down, and my left hip will lift. And then I come back, head and knees to center, and I go the other way. You're gonna feel like you're moving down the mat. And you make it what you need for yourself. Only go as far as is comfortable for you. Good, and one more. And then just little rocking again. Good. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your arms underneath the kneecaps. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders down. Soften your gaze. And now we just rock like a butterfly. Breathe. Good. Pause and see how you feel. Inhale, bring the knees in, curl the spine back. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, let it go. Stretch out that spine. Inhale, lift up. You can make it as big or as small as you want it to be. And bring it up. Slide your hands now to your ankles. My elbows come to the inside. This is a big stretch for the inside and the psoas muscles, so don't overstretch. And you rock right here. Shoulders down. Don't let your shoulders creep up to your ears. And breathe. Good. Pause. Let your legs be long. Take a big breath and just massage your legs. Just massaging out. We've been on them for a while. Now you can bring it all the way down to the tops of your toes and all the way back. And then you want to do the side of the legs up to the toes if you can reach it. And then inside of the legs, you can open up your legs and do the inside line. And then you want to lift one leg, little comb the back of the hamstrings. Make sure you get the lower leg. And then behind the knee, that's a whole lymphatic fluid release. Measure your legs. So just by doing that, my right leg's a little bit longer. You may not find that, it's what's for you. And then you comb. Sit up nice and tall, comb it out. Massage the lower leg. Good, get the back of the knees. Good, stretch your legs. Arms are parallel, shoulders are down. Sit up nice and tall. Now it's not this. It's lifting up and it's a small pulsing. Relax the knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back, twist. Take a breath. Inhale, opposite side. Take a breath. And again, bring it out. Opposite side. Come back to center. Take a breath. Now, our goal is to reach our feet. Now, if you can't comfortably reach your feet, then you bring your knees up. And you can hold them just like this. Now you breathe here, and now you can rock. Gentle rocking. Pause, let it go. Good. Now, as you breathe here and you bring your hands out into your staff pose, shoulders down, lifting yourself up, feeling the bottoms of your feet. Feel the sensation of grounding, balance, support. You have nowhere to go and nothing to do but to feel the sensation of grounding down. Good. And now I'm going to move my right arm to the left. You can do the opposite side. Swing my legs, come up onto my table, and come again right into any variation of a child's pose and kind of melt into the mat. Take a breath. Slide your hands back to frame the face. Lift yourself up. We're just going to do a couple of cat and dogs before we come to our Shavasana. So I'm going to come right back up into my table. My head's an extension of the spine. My toes are tucked. I roll my head to make sure my neck's not tight. And now I inhale and lift up. Exhale, release the feet and curl into the back body. Inhale and exhale at my own rate. And I want to feel maybe that whole stretch through the center of the body, releasing anything I'm thinking about, anything I'm speaking about, anything I'm holding in my heart, and moving it all the way down so I can digest and let it go. And back and forth at your own rate. Nice. One more. And release. Good. Pick your child's pose and let it go. Now, if you, just before we transition, if you would like, you can move your elbows a little forward, bring your hands together and just above the crown of the back of your head. This is going to open up a little deeper here. But then imagine that you're holding a light, a candle light. And that light is the light of intuition, inspiration, inner awareness. What can I let go of that doesn't serve me? So that I can bring in peace, contentment, confidence, courage, patience, love, kindness, compassion. If you want, you can bring your hands to the backs of your shoulders so you can tell your shoulders to let go of everything that you're carrying in this world. And then when you're ready, you slowly release it and bring yourself up, and you transition back onto your back body. So take your time. Keep your knees up, let your hands rest right on your ribs, and just feel the breath. And now see how you're meeting the mat here. Maybe your spine feels a little longer. Maybe your shoulders are more level. Maybe your hips are balanced. Maybe your mind is not so busy. And you breathe. Now, if you would like, before we go into our Shavasana, you have a couple of options. You can cross that right leg over the left, and you can rock it out into a rocking pigeon. You could do that on both sides. You can bring your knees into your chest and rock. You can come back into a happy baby or stretch your legs into a big V. You can bring your feet to the floor and just do some windshield wipers, and you can change your arm position. Or you can go right into a twist. So you bring your legs together. You can bring palms up into the letter T and stretch to the right and to the left. Keep the shoulders on the floor. You can pick any of these. You can do all of them. You can do none of them. Whatever it is that you need to complete your practice. And then you land. So if you choose, your feet can stay up. You can bring your knees together. One heel is in each corner of the mat. Arms come down. Letter A. You can put on your socks. If you have a blanket or a jacket and you need to keep yourself warm, that's what you do. And you land. If you need to sit up instead of recline, that's your choice. And then just ask yourself, how do I feel that's different than when I started. Now, we started with our 4-step process to how I can change my day. So how do you feel now? What has changed? And give yourself feedback. I'm calmer, I'm more relaxed, I'm warmer, I'm aware. It doesn't matter what it is. And then what did I feed myself? Maybe you gave yourself the gift of this hour. You gave yourself the gift of a space to think a new thought, to take a deeper breath. Doesn't matter what it is. And you've already helped someone because you came to the class. I can't teach the class unless you come, so there you go. And then feel like you're a sponge and bring into yourself that sensation that you are confident that nothing can knock you down. When something is a challenge, you step out of the way. You think a new thought, you take a deeper breath. You pause. Life is not about removing the challenges. The challenges will always be there, the struggles, the disappointments, but it's how you deal with them. Giving yourself time to pause, to take a breath, to bring yourself to a peace-filled moment. When you bring yourself to peace, it's not about letting go of all, like nothing will ever happen again. That's not what it's about. It's about developing a toolbox to handle it better. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out into the space that I've created for myself so that I can bring myself to a place where I am home, home to my true self, home to a place where I can heal. I am grounded, I am rooted, I am balanced, and I am supporting myself on my journey. And then feel the space around your heart. I send to myself the gift of love, kindness, compassion, healing, forgiveness, awareness, self-care, so that I can bloom and grow. I can set an intention, and I can change it if it doesn't work. I allow myself the time to transform into something that works better for me. So remember, transformation is about a choice. You make the choice to make a new choice. And the other thing is you need to be aware of personal possessive pronouns. My illness, my anxiety, my worry creates ownership. And so you don't want to own it, you want to let it go. So as you breathe in and you breathe out here, give yourself a compliment. And clear out any other distractions in your thoughts. And begin to deepen your breath. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And maybe roll your head a little bit if you feel you need to. And then when you're ready, you go into a full body stretch and take a humongous yawn and stretch yourself out from the bottoms of your feet to the tips of your fingers. And wiggle and breathe and yawn and stretch it out. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock it out. And then bring your legs and your arms up and shake it out. So shake and shake and shake and shake and shake and shake and activate that whole nervous system so you're not so fatigued and I can't put you in the car and drive like you're a little drugged, so let's not go there. And go into a full body stretch, big stretch. Ugh. And then when you're ready, you roll to whatever side and transition into whatever's a comfortable seated position for you. I'm looking at your faces and this is what I'm looking at. Which means I did my job, but I can't send you out in your car like this. So let's stir the pot. So yoga is a very powerful practice. And you just gave that gift to yourself and reverse your circle. And then pause and sweep. I have everything I need, and everything I need will come to me at the perfect time without an effort. And then you inhale and you seal the practice with confidence. I do have everything I need right within me. I am perfect as I am, because when I bring myself to this place where I'm calm and relaxed and filled with peace, I am home, and that is enough. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Have a great day. Please drink plenty of water. Please, please, please. You're going to need to. We moved a lot of stuff. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.